Hey y'all. I don't know if you can hear me that good. I have the fan on in the background. Yeah, I use it all year round. You know what name has a good ring to it? A nice ring to it? Sarah Boswell. Almost sounds like a famous actress or something. Yeah, I ran across that name tonight. So my ex-friend, who I've known since I was 18, this time when I cut him off, I think he realizes that it's for good this time because I told my uncle, I exposed him to my uncle, okay? And that was the first time I'd ever done that. Prior to us having issues, I had never told anyone else, okay? And this time I was so fed up that I contacted my uncle and told him in so many words or less, your buddy he doesn't have any respect for women. Be glad that he talks to you with respect. He has a lot more respect for men than women. And a lot of narcs are like that. They hate women with a passion, but they objectify them, and they also hate them because they need them. Okay? Or they think they need them. They need to control them so they can feel better about themselves. That's a stronger need than any other need that they have. But yeah, I exposed him to my uncle. And it told my uncle that through no uncertain terms, he doesn't have any respect for women whatsoever. You don't tell somebody that they're wrong in reference to their personal experience. Who does that? Be glad that he doesn't talk to you like that. He doesn't talk to men like that, period. Him and his sister, my ex-friend, they live together. A whole bunch of family lives in their house. Him, his sister, who he can't stand, the brother-in-law, and his brother, who has a lot of psychiatric issues as well. He's on medication for it. So dysfunction runs in the family big time. Him and his sister don't get along. But then again, he doesn't get along with women. He uses them, and I told my uncle I never want to, I texted my uncle and I said I never want to talk to him again. And I know for a fact that he went back and told him, hey, what's going on with you and, of course, me? She said this, that, and the other, and I'm sure that he was gobsmacked by that because that has never happened before. Narcs can't stand when they get exposed. They hate that. And when your behavior reaches a certain level, I'm exposing you because you're horrible. You're a horrible person, and I'm done with it, and I'm tired of it. So if he were to talk to his guy friends the way he talks to women, he wouldn't have any guy friends, or he'd get cussed out on a regular. Because guys don't have no problem telling you about yourself. Yeah, I exposed his ass. So I was hoping that on my birthday he didn't, the previous narc friend did not contact me. And because I exposed him for the first time, I think that he knows that I'm very serious about never talking to you again. Because, like I said, I have never gotten another person involved in. I never told another person how he was behaving. And I've seen men treat other guys way better than they treat women, but then they have the audacity to go sniffing up their skirts. When you don't have respect for them, you like to dominate them, you like to control them, you like them to second guess themselves, which I'm not going to do because what I say with conviction. If I don't know something, that's a different story. But what I say with conviction. And to be treated any kind of way, and he prides himself. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. He prides himself on treating women so well. No, the hell he doesn't. He don't treat women well. And I promise you, he does not talk to his guy friends the way he talks to me and other women. Oh, I'm so good to women. I don't care if they're remarried or they're married or they got a boyfriend. All I got to do is make a phone call and they'll give me some. That's called your ego is talking to you. In his delusional mind, that's the reality. In his delusional mind, that is his reality. That even if a woman is a newlywed and she's in love with her partner, she got stars in her eyes for her new husband, according to him, all he got to do is make a phone call and her panties will drop for him. Boy, you really bumped your head or something, because that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But in his mind, that's the truth. And I do believe that, he realized I would catch on to his actions. Excuse me again, sorry. He knew that I knew a lot about narcissists, and I do suspect that he is one. So at some point, he started to talk to me less and less and less. And in retrospect, I think it's because he didn't want me to pick up on it. Well, I finally picked up on it. Because he talked out the side of his neck to me in a way that he's never talked to me like that before. Ever. Maybe you don't have any friends there because of your attitude. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. In fact, when I had a best friend, the one that died of cancer, I actually paid her to be my friend because I'm not a good person. I got a bad attitude, so I had to pay her a lot of money. In fact, I had to rob a couple banks so that I could pay her to be my friend. Boy, please, sit your dumb ass down. Sit your dumb ass down. I think there's a lot of things going on with him. I think, and I'm grateful that he did not call me for my birthday, because I don't want to hear your voice ever again. Ever again. Okay? I think he's going through a narcissistic collapse. I think the real reality is he's not getting booty like he used to, because he was perpetrating such a gentleman and perpetrating kissing somebody on the cheek instead of trying to dive into her underwears. And all that was is a psychological ploy. Some guys who are predators, sexual predators, and he's one of them, some guys will perpetrate the perfect gentleman because that makes women want you more. I'm not stupid. I know how this works. You treat her like a queen. You kiss her on the hand or on the cheek. You act like you're not interested in jumping her bones, even though you can't wait to jump her bones. And she's like, oh my God, he's such a perfect gentleman. Next thing you know, she wants to jump his bones. I'm hip to all that. So that was his ploy in getting women out of their clothes, acting like a perfect gentleman, taking them out to eat, taking them for drinks, taking them on long drives or whatever, and not trying to get in her drawers, just perpetrating the nicest guy with the most manners. And come on. That's all perpetration. It's perpetrate. That's not real. That's not who he really is. But that is his ploy to get women's clothes off, and it worked. Okay? He even did a chick while her boyfriend was in the other room, drunk as hell. Because, again, he does what he wants, when he wants, typical narcissist. If I want some draws, I'm just going to take them. I mean, she was willing to give them up. It wasn't that kind of situation. But dude was drunk as hell in the other room, so he took advantage of that situation. He sure did. Dude was passed out because he was drunk as a skunk. Okay? Like, wow. Wow, wow, wow. So hopefully this trend will continue. Did not call me for my birthday, thank God. I do not want to hear from him for the holidays. Narcissists will milk you during the holidays and milk your kindness, beat you over the head with your empathy. I miss you so much. I've known you for so long. We've known each other for so long. You don't want to throw what we had in the trash, do you? Meanwhile, they're the ones that threw it in the trash. And like I said, I think he's going through a narcissistic collapse where booties are just not falling out of the sky like when he was younger and had all this slick talk. You get older, you got aches and pains and all this other going on, and he's not wanting to put the effort in like he used to, and women are not chasing him down like they used to. And, I think that a lot of times narcissists are very envious of us. They're very, very, very jealous. Very envious of us because, especially if we've got things going on that they don't have. He cannot live. He used to have his own apartment, real nice, in Yonkers, New York. And over the past, I don't even know how many years, many, many, many years, more than 10, I don't know, long time, he has he lives in one of the most expensive states in the entire country. California and New York are places you do not want to live. Even rich people have left California. All right, just to give you an idea. This fool is so addicted to New York and finding broken people because he is a communal narcissist. In addition to being a narcissist, he's a communal, meaning he has to always bend over backwards for other people. Did not do that for me after a certain point because he wasn't guaranteed no draws. So therefore, him going above and beyond was going to stop. Okay, and he was going to lie to me and tell me all these excuses why it couldn't happen. When in reality, it's because he wasn't guaranteed. He wasn't promised no ass. I don't have whore written across my forehead. I don't have escort written across my forehead. I don't owe you shit. Okay? I don't owe you Zippo. And he can't afford to live on his own. He will not leave New York because he's stupid. And he has to live with family members. He has to live with his brother and the sister and the brother-in-law. And the niece used to live there. Well, she finally got smart, got her college education, and got the hell up out of there. But there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people that were all up each other's ass in the same house. And I understand that people's financial situation changes. I get that. But he's been up their world for many, many years now. And the sister is the only one who had sense and was like, we should move to the country. Her and her husband should move to the country. Well, her husband and narky boy, they talked her out of it because they're addicted to New York. How do you okay, so this is weird, right? How do you become addicted to a geographical region? And it's robbing you blind financially to the point where y'all got to live in each other's face. You cannot live on your own, or you refuse to live on your own. I live on my own, and I think that pisses him off. I also don't chase dick because that's not who I am. I don't give two shits about dick or men or relationships or anything. I could care less about any of that stuff, and that baffles him because he's a pervert. He's a hypersexual pervert. So it baffles his mind that I'm not chasing after somebody. I don't need other people to validate my existence. I am here. I validate my own experience in my own life. I don't need to be validated by somebody else. And I don't need them to want me in a relationship. I don't need that. And that's totally weird to him because he's addicted to getting it on. He has no respect for women, regardless of the lies he tells. Just because you appear to be a kind wolf, that doesn't mean you're not a wolf. Ooh, You still trying to get the ass. You just doing it in a more manipulative way. See, I'm not desperate for ass, even though I am. I kiss you on the cheek, and I open the door for you, and I buy you this, that, and the other, and I take you here, there, and everywhere without pressing for sex, which makes women want you more because you're perpetrating that you're a nice guy. So that's one ploy that some men will do to get laid. He cannot fathom somebody not wanting to get laid. That doesn't even register in his little perverted mind. I have my own space. I've got my own thing going on. I don't need no ass. I don't need a relationship. And that baffles the hell out of him. Not to mention, I don't have to do like him. I don't live in a place that's so expensive. I have to live with other people to survive, especially family. You don't want to be up in your family's face every day. Love goes but so far before y'all start getting on each other's nerves. And yes, his sisters pulled a knife on him. But because, yes, he probably deserved it. He's got a big mouth. And he talks to women any kind of way. And he should have been slapped in his mouth a long time ago. Okay? I'm such a good guy. I don't pressure women for sex. Bullshit and triple layers of bullshit. You knew I had zero interest in that. Zero interest in that. And you kept bringing it up in whatever conversations. You got to start talking about it and dropping hints. And remember when, me and you were involved and this and that. And he wants to go into graphic details. I said, don't even start. Don't start. That's not a friend. That's not somebody who they know that you don't want to hear the blow by blow of what went down in the bedroom. You ain't trying to hear all that. You were there, so you already know. And this person likes to aggravate the shit out of you by bringing it up because he's addicted to it. And I don't really care that you don't want to talk about it. I'm going to keep bringing it up. That's someone who doesn't respect your boundaries. I don't care if you had a fling with them. I don't care if you were involved for a few months. I don't care if you had a one-night stand with them. If you don't like their behavior and how they treat you, the last thing you want to talk about is when y'all were between the sheets. You don't want to hear that shit. And when you make that clear and this person keeps bringing it up anyway, they don't give a rat's ass about your boundaries and what you want to hear and talk about and this, that. They ain't trying to, no. They're going to keep pushing until you eventually let them have it and they get their stupid little raggedy narcissistic feelings hurt. People get tired of you. They get tired of you. I was dreading that fool calling me for my birthday. Thank you, Jesus, he did not. After I cut him off in text, and I told him, and he don't respond to text because he's a narcissist. He's not going to do anything he don't want to do. But if you don't want to talk about something, he's going to keep bringing it up. So what works for the goose is good for the gander. Get the hell out of my face. Anyway, so after I told him good luck, and this was a while back, he had the nerve to call me and leave a message. He was blocked at that point, so it automatically goes to voicemail. And he said, I can't let you go because I love you too much. And that was supposed to soften me up and make me melted butter. I'm not trying to hear that fat lie. You don't know first thing about love. He wouldn't know love if it slapped him square in his face, which he's been needing that for a long time. He was married. He had no business getting married. Narcissists are not marriage material. Let me make that crystal clear. Narcissists are not marriage material. They're not. They're disrespectful assholes. They don't have any social skills. They don't know the first thing about empathy or compassion. They are not equipped to be a spouse. But unfortunately, marriage doesn't require you to have a brain that works. It just requires you to say, I do. Married this girl after his father died, and he had no business doing that. And you don't make major decisions after something major happens in your life. You just don't. And he married this girl, and then he divorced her because she didn't want kids. Well, you're stupid and she's stupid because y'all should have talked about that before you got married. And you're not marriage material. He is a communal narcissist. So anybody in the neighborhood who needs him, all they got to do is call him at I don't know, 12 in the afternoon, 1 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. I need. And he will hurry up, get dressed, and bounce out the door because he wants to make sure that other people know how giving he is and how kind he is and how he goes above and beyond. Oh, please. That is just a public persona. That is a crock of bullshit. That is a communal narcissist. I need everybody to know how awesome I am. Too bad none of that's true. Prime example. I've got a chronic pain condition. Do you think that fool, all these years he's known me, do you think he ever asked me about it? Hell no. Because it's all about him. Never at one time did he say, how are you feeling? How do you manage your day-to-day life with a chronic illness? He never showed concern about that. You got to be kidding me. For what? Now, if I want to talk rated R talk, oh, well, hey, he's down for that. He's way down for that. I love you too much. Get the fuck out of here. You wouldn't know love if it blew up in your face. Most people don't have a goddamn clue about love. There's one guy that was on Dr. John Deloney's show on YouTube. He's been married for, how many years? I want to say double-digit years. A long time. And he's been messing with some chick. He's her supervisor at work. And he'd been banging her for 8 years. And basically blames his wife. Because when the kid was born, it was, I didn't get enough attention. Well, that's called being a parent, dumb ass. The child can't fend for theirself. Of course the child's going to come first. You didn't know that when you stuck your pecker in there? You didn't know that if you got her pregnant that the kid was going to be first? Kid can't defend themselves. They can't make their own meal. They can't make their own bottle. It's funny how that works, but that's how it works. He's a selfish asshole. All he cares about is what he wants. He don't want a divorce. You chose to have a divorce the minute you stuck yourself inside somebody else. Blaming the wife and acting like it's always someone else's fault. You ever notice that about a lot of people? It's always someone else's fault, never theirs. People don't want to hold themselves accountable. Ever. Makes no sense. I hope to God he stays away come the holidays. Narcissists are notorious, like I said, for popping up on the holiday. I was just thinking about you. It's Thanksgiving. I just want to think, just let you know I was thinking about... Listen, do me a favor. Don't think about me. Please, don't. Do me a massive favor. Don't. I don't give a shit what holiday it is. Stay the hell away from me. And hopefully he will. Hopefully he will. I mean, people... We can't hold on to somebody just because we've known them for years and years and years. We cannot hold on to them if they're bad for us. The time frame, the years, the memories are totally irrelevant. And I noticed in retrospect that when I finally, I wasn't quick with this one. Slowly, I realized that, oh shit, he is a narcissist. Oh shit, because every single time I was with him, I felt alone. Every time we went out to eat, I felt alone. We would go to public places and I would deliberately have conversations with other people because I felt alone. There's your red flag, boys and girls. That something is off with this person. You may not know at that time that they're a narcissist, but you know something's off because your body tells you that your ass is by your damn self. Even though you're sitting across from this person or right next to this person, you are alone. You're alone. Ask yourself, is this person a narcissist? Because that's one of the things that your body picks up on. The utter loneliness when you're with this person. So anyway, y'all take care. Much love. Bye-bye.